Making dolls out of soap? Should that be my thumbnail?
Yes. We have giant question marks and like both of our ladies like diagonally with the soaps next to them.
Hello everyone, it's Fairiekin, and welcome to my collaboration with Serenidoll. Our collaboration is inspired this time round by Royalty Soaps. Now, Royalty Soaps has actually played a huge role in my hobby. Not only do their videos inspire me creatively, but their products are so vital to my process. I work with a lot of strong chemicals, and very rarely am I able to wear gloves because of my tiny baby hands. So I often need soap that's tough enough to cut through the materials I use, but gentle enough to not rip my hands to shreds. And the Duchess of Suds, Katie Carson's soap recipe, does exactly that for me. All of their products are handmade and absolutely lovely to use. I will have a link to the Royalty Soap shop, and their YouTube channel, and their Instagram in the description. And speaking of links, I will be also leaving mine and Serenidoll's Instagram down below too. I also have a Twitter if you want to follow me there, and I've created a little community on Discord so that I can interact with you guys a bit more. Everything is in the description if you are interested in any of those things. This collaboration came about by a random conversation with my good friend Serenidoll. We were talking about Royalty Soap's designs, and eventually it led to us wanting to design soaps into dolls. As you do. We decided to choose either our favorite soap or something that would translate well into a doll. Serenidoll, or Amber, chose the Bloom Burst soap, and I chose the Hamburger soap. The reason behind this is because a long time ago, I had an idea to make a barbecue fairy. There are like 5 people on this planet that remember this concept. So this combines my weird concept, as well as having a base and a color palette to go off of, and also a reason to make it at all. I drew up a couple designs, and so did Serenidoll. My first 2 were like, I don't know, Burger King Oompa Loompas or something.
I don't know why specifically Burger King, but I feel like she'd be a waitress at Burger King that you'd have to pay extra for.
Oh my gosh. This over here. This is a nightmare.
I mean, she's definitely got big buns like a hamburger.
That
No.
And the third came out absolutely perfect. What's interesting to me is that mine and Amber's concepts are very similar, in the sense that they virtually have the same silhouette. Our creative sides were subconsciously vibing with each other, I am pretty sure. Me and Serenidoll did a few calls to discuss logistics, concepts, and details. All of these conversations ended up being incredibly cursed, inevitably.
The ideas behind like certain design choices, I feel like they explain themselves well, but I just like explaining things.
Yeah.
Like all of the materials I'm going to use gathered already.
Oh, okay,
So I think since I'm not going to have like a full video, it would be fun to show that off. Yeah, but this is a fluorescent.
Holy cow.
And then like here's the soap. So I'm going to balance it out with this like darker magenta that I got from 17-inch Madeline Hatter, and then some Spectra hair to go with the...
Yeah.
Her head looks very interesting right now. Where did it go?
These are the questions that we ask ourselves.
Uh-oh. Where did her head go? Oh, it's right there. It's underneath my phone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Let's do any soap, or are we gonna do from the same line? I'm like, I guess any soap is fine. And then you're like, hamburger. Okay.
I'll have to make a whole other video about our conversations because they were just so long, but too good not to share. After our concepts and processes were thoroughly established, I got straight to work. The base I'm working with is a sweet 1600 Draculaura that one of my friends gave to me recently. I boil some water, dunk her head in to soften the vinyl, And I don't know why I didn't cut her hair before I did this. Usually that's how that goes, but this time I guess I forgot. Now I cut her hair and go in with a pair of safety scissors to scrape out all the plugs in her head. I use a pair of pliers to pull out all the glue chunks. It's nasty. It's straight nasty. With an acetone-soaked cotton ball, I take off her face and the black paint on her scalp. I'm going to do an experiment with this one. I want to shrink Draculaura's head, but I also want to do a reroot. So I'm going to do a reroot first. I also did this with my Danny Sexbang custom, but the acetone I used for that time round had already been used for that purpose at least twice beforehand. Or should I say, beforehead. So the acetone wasn't as potent. This time I will be using brand new acetone, so we'll see how this goes. I wanted this doll to be a part of a series that I've been creating in my head for a while. I want to create a fairy family, almost. And I want all of their hair to match, in a way. Nymphit, the tea fairy, was the first fairy I made as a part of this family of sorts, and I want this texture of hair on every single doll that I make in this series. I separate short white yarn threads, and with my reroot tool, I begin plugging the head. This Draculaura has a bit of her forehead chunked out, so I'm going to create a widow's peak, not only to hide whatever accident has occurred, but also to match Katie Carson's hairline. After I finished plugging the hair, I put the head in a jar of acetone and planned on leaving it for an hour. I checked in on her somewhere in there and... oh no. Oh. Oh no! Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Oh, the widow's peak. Oh no. Oh wow. Oh, it's the whole thing. Oh, it's the whole thing. Not only did my experiment not work, but now I have to start over. I grab an extra Draculaura head, I soak it in acetone for 2 hours, and within the window of time that the head was still soft enough between the evaporation, I did the reroot. I made the same hairline, but with a side part because she will be wearing a hat, and I need a flat spot in the hair to fit that in. I glue the plugs in place from the inside of the head. And now I can mask her hair off and start on the body blushing. Like always, I will be using soft pastels in MSC. I sand her down a little bit because the plastic had a bit of smudging on it. I give her and her joints a quick layer of MSC in a well-ventilated area while I wear a mask. Then, after the MSC dries, I will blush her joints very, very heavily. I think over-exaggerated blushing is absolutely adorable, and I really wanted to try it. After a final layer of Mr. Super Clear, the body blushing is done. I reattach the head to the body, and now I can move on to the face. I do some extreme blushing on the face as well. Kinda like the last face up I did this one twice. The first one, we'll call it a warm-up. I did it in an afternoon, and it just didn't work. So I lowered the position of the eyes, I changed the colors a bit too. Initially, me and Amber discussed about using the entire color palette of the soap for her eyes.
Oh, fun thing I want to do with the eyes. I've done this with dolls before where I've done like all of their colors just culminated in the eyes, and I thought it could be fun this time, so it'll like resemble the drop swirl.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really awesome idea.
But I decided that because the soap I'm working from doesn't have that drop swirl technique, I decided to make her eyes bright green. I gave her sesame seed freckles and tried to make the highlights in the eyes the same way, but because of the contrast, you can't really tell that they're supposed to be sesame seeds. They just look like highlights.
Add a highlight instead of like just in white. Oh, you could do a sesame seed highlight! You could have a sesame seed in her eye as the highlight!
Oh my gosh, you're right!
Now that her face-up is done, I glaze her eyes and lips with UV resin. And honestly, I think these are the best lips I've ever made. It's kind of a weird flex, but I like them a lot. I took out her hair wrap and trimmed her hair a little bit. And now it's time to make her outfit. Here are the fabrics I will be working with. I tried to keep them as close to the soap color palette as possible. The apron is pretty straightforward. I didn't have a pattern for this, I just kind of eyeballed it off of my design. And for the bodice, I used the pattern from Delightful's Lolita dress. I liked the split in the front, but it turned out with the way that I layered the skirt, it didn't really matter. And of course, the puffy lettuce leaves sleeves, because who doesn't want that? And for the skirt, I wanted to represent the layers and the colors of the soap. I cut out a few oblong circles, ranging in size, and layering them so that every single color was visible. I attached a ribbon to the back and made it almost a drawstring type hem on the top. I put all the pieces together. I added a red ribbon belt, and in the belt I gave her yellow and red washcloths to mimic cheese and tomatoes. Because who doesn't want that? You know, just cheese and tomatoes just like pouring out of your pockets. Who doesn't want that? I know I want that. I like tomatoes. I like cheese. I'm lactose intolerant, but I like cheese. Now for the wings, because it's summer, and because she's a barbecue fairy, I wanted to give her dragonfly wings. I made wire armatures and covered them in fairy film. I melted the plastic around the wire with a flat iron first, and then melted the edges over a candle. For her chef hat, I cut out a long rectangle of white cardstock and glued white fabric over it. Then I cut out a circle in a white t-shirt material so that it would be floppy, and with fabric glue, I gathered the material into the hat. Her huge hair won't allow me to just set the hat on her head and have it stay there, so I glued some pins into the folds of the fabric and stabbed that into her head. It wouldn't stay any other way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm sorry for the poor quality, but I forgot to record this part of the audio. When I was going to attach the wings, I was initially going to attach it via a magnet, but that didn't work out because I couldn't find any magnets, so I just straight up glued it to the back of her dress, and left her hair long enough so that it would cover the unsightly patchiness. I'm sorry that I didn't record this. I was sick, alright? I was sick. Shut up.
For her accessories, I sculpted a tiny burger and a little spatula, which I painted afterwards. I'm quite happy with the burger, but I think the spatula could use a little bit of work. It looks like someone left it in the oven and it's a rubber spatula, so it kind of melted a little bit. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that, but I've done that, so I know exactly what that looks like. I gathered some of the green tulle over her feet to give her some cute lettuce leaf shoes. And with that, she's done. I love how she came out. I think she matches the design and prompt almost perfectly, even if it is an absolutely bonkers idea. And here's Amber's Bloomburst doll. I love that the dolls almost match each other in a weird way. Our design choices are coincidentally very, very similar. Serenidoll's doll, say that a couple times. Amber's doll matches the Bloomburst soap perfectly, and I'm so happy that we were able to work on this collab together. One last thing that is very important. Today just happens to be Katie Carson's birthday. We were able to time this just right, and I'm so happy that it worked out. Happy birthday to Katie, and make sure to go flood Katie's Instagram and YouTube with birthday wishes. And I would like to plug Royalty Soaps really quick. The next soap release on their shop is available August 1st at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on royaltysoaps.com. If anyone wants to pick up some beautiful handcrafted soaps, they're all over there. They're all amazing. I cannot recommend them enough. Like I said, all of the links will be in the description for Katie's stuff, my stuff, and Amber's stuff. Thank you all for joining me on this process. I hope you're all doing well. Make sure to reach out to someone today and ask how they're doing, even if that person is yourself. Thank you. Bye!